This could change everything for the Buffalo Bills' upcoming season. Running back James Cook has been making moves on social media by unfollowing Bills accounts on Instagram and making money demands for his contract extension. My name is Maeve Miller. I'm a member of the Bills Digest team, so please subscribe to the Bills Digest YouTube channel for all the latest updates during the season and in the offseason. Starting off, we're going to talk a little about his stats this season. Cook was drafted in 2022 from Georgia, and these past 3 seasons, he's made a huge impact on the Bills' offense. This year, especially, the Bills have been able to establish a really strong rushing offense, and in years past, they've been more of a passing one, so it's been exciting to see, and they really can diversify using wide receivers, tight ends, running backs for a lot of different things, and Cook has been definitely a front runner in that aspect. So his stats in the 2024 regular season, he had 207 carries for 1,009 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns, and averaged 4.9 yards a carry. And as you can see, he was tied for first overall in the NFL for rushing touchdowns and 16th for rushing yards, making him one of the best running backs in the league. Additionally, during the playoffs, he made a big impact. He had 272 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and overall on the season, he had 1 fumble, which is an improvement from years past. He also did contribute to the passing offense. He had 32 receptions for 64 yards and 2 more receiving touchdowns. And he definitely leads the charge for the Bills, but he isn't the only player that's making a big impact on the offense. The offensive line, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, they've all kind of come together, even Josh Allen, and really established more of a rushing offense that has helped the Bills win. Okay, so next I want to talk about Cook's contract. So Cook has just been taking to social media and just talking about what he thinks he deserves. He's currently in the 4th year of his rookie contract, and he believes he deserves a $15 million extension. And even though that would make him one of the highest paid running backs in the league, behind Christian McCaffrey, who makes $19 million a year. So some people are saying that that is like wild and that there's just no way that would happen. But on social media, he responded to a tweet saying that if you think James Cook ain't worth 15, you must have been dropped headfirst to the table, pay him. Other things he's said, he's unfollowed the Bills and removed some of the Bills' posts. He also changed his profile picture, which was originally him in a Bills uniform. And lastly, he went on his Instagram Live and pinned his own comment that said $15 million a year. So he's not being shy about this. I think he's clearly frustrated and thinks he deserves to be paid more. And for a certain aspect, like I believe he does too. He has made a huge impact on the Bills. He's been playing very well, and he's just a huge part of their offense. But a lot of people are saying that what he's asking for is a little egregious. But this does come at a time when running backs are getting more recognition. In the past, I feel like wide receivers, tight ends get more of the praise and therefore get paid more, and running backs are kind of a second tier to them. But we've seen players like Saquon Barkley, especially this year, who had a standout year. He has just been making great plays and bringing more attention to running backs, and we've seen teams like the Eagles, who are more of a running dominant offense, make it into the playoffs and be more successful than teams that are more passing dominant. So overall, he just believes this is what he deserves, and he is sticking by his word and just posting on social media a lot about it. So I just want to talk about what I think the Bills should do about this. Obviously, the Bills have been known for having little issues with their salary cap, but some people are saying that maybe it's better to offer him a contract for $30 million over 3 years that make it $10 million, which I believe is a fair assessment. $15 million is just way over it. Currently, the Bills are projected to have a salary cap of $275 million, and that they're $12 million over that. So Brandon Beane, the general manager, does have a lot of decisions to make in this offseason. He was quoted saying, "We'll have conversations with a lot of our guys. I don't want to go into individual who we would try and extend now. And you guys know, we did a lot of extensions like that later in the year as well. So I think once we get closer the next few weeks and even close to the draft, that stuff will kind of start to come to fruition. How our cap dollars are spent and how we can shape contracts for guys that we want to extend." So there definitely is still time about this, and there's a lot of moves that the Bills can make. I've seen on social media people talk about restructuring contracts like Deion Dawkins and Josh Allen, by maybe pushing some of that money into later years, which would free up space now. I do think it's important to note that reasons why people are very much against this multi-million-dollar contract extension is the fact that Cook only plays in 48% of offensive snaps this year. And compared to other players like Saquon Barkley, he played at 74% of snaps, and Jonathan Taylor for the Colts played at 80% of snaps. It just does feel like a big difference. Cook did miss a game, but I feel like that is just such a big difference between other players. And people were saying, like, why would they pay him this much money if he's not even going to play in, more than half the snaps? So overall, I just don't think it's realistic for the Bills to pay him this much. I don't think it's even possible for them to pay him this much. And the Bills have been successful before him. In 2022, they made it to the AFC Championship with Devin Singletary. So they've made it just as far with and without him. I do really like James Cook. I think he's a great player. I love the way he just really puts his body on the line for the team. I just don't think the Bills will be able to afford it. And I guess we'll have to see in the coming weeks. Brian Beane has been talking about, he said in the quote that they usually do things later on in the year, but there are other factors to consider, like other free agents and contract extensions. Matt Milano, Christian Benford, Curtis Samuel. There's been a lot of talks about what they're going to do with them. So I think as the weeks play out, we'll be able to see more. But I would love for them to keep Cook. I think he's played so well this season and last season. I just don't think the Bills will be able to afford it, and I hope he'd be willing to take a contract for a little bit less money, but from the way he's been posting on social media, it doesn't seem like he is. So I guess we'll just have to monitor that in the coming weeks, but as I said, I really hope the Bills decide to keep Cook, and he agrees to that as well. So thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Maeve Miller, and please subscribe to the Bills Digest YouTube channel.